Hello and welcome to the ADR BAR podcast. This is a brand new podcast series. My name is Jana Krishnan. I'm your host and I'm also the founder of The Daily Lawyer. So this podcast series you'll be doing in collaboration with The Daily Lawyer. I am so excited to start this podcast series, especially about ADR. We'll get into what it is and what is the ADR bar and all of that as we speak in the podcast. But it is only fitting that we start this amazing new podcast series with the founder, the visionary of ADR bar, Mr. Samir Shah, advocate, arbitrator, mediator. I don't know how many more titles we can give him. Samir bhai, welcome to your own podcast.
Thank you so much, Jenna, for giving me this opportunity. It's been a dream come true for me so far as this ADR bar launch is concerned. And I must thank you for, supporting us and bringing this, helping us to bring this to the, people at large and to those for whom ADR matters a lot. And it's so this is, I think, a great forum, a great platform which we have started, and which will also help us as the bar to promote the culture, the real culture and system of ADR in our country. So thank you so much, Jenna, for giving this.
Most welcome. It is truly my honor. I am so excited to be part of ADR. It's a field of law that I really like, and with God's grace, that is what I have been doing.
So before we start, I think I must also welcome you on board as our media and communication lead of ADR bar. So let me introduce to you all our media and communication head, Ms. Jana Krishnan.
Thank you. So kind of you. Thank you. Samir bhai, before we move on, I just want to give listeners a bit of a background about you, what I know, and then you can fill in the gaps. So Samir Shah is, like I said, an advocate, a mediator, arbitrator. He's based in Ahmedabad, Gujarat. So he started in the Gujarat High Court. But as you moved into ADR practice, which is essentially alternative dispute resolution practice, which is largely arbitration and mediation practice, you are practicing not just in Gujarat, not just in India, but all over the world. And you have so many affiliations. You're a panel arbitrator mediator with the Bali International Arbitration Mediation Association. You are with the CIR. You are everywhere. You have these amazing affiliations, and I think it is the distilled, not just your distilled knowledge and experience, but also your own vision that has brought you here as the founder, visionary of ADR bar. So Samir bhai, why, if you want to tell people to start from the beginning, why is it that you thought it is important to have something like the ADR bar? And maybe we can clarify to people what is bar, because they may not understand what we mean by bar.
Yeah. Well, I think, Jana, that's a very, very pertinent question to start with, which will help people, the listeners, to understand why I've started this initiative, which is not for me alone or for you alone, but it is for all of us, all those who are committed and focused to promotion and development of ADR in our country. So our vision of this ADR bar is very clearly mentioned in our website. Once you open the first page, it's adrbar.com. Our vision is very clear, and the vision is that we want to make India as the international center of ADR. So with that in my mind, this thought came up, and because of my experience over a period of time in this field of both arbitration and mediation, I saw many challenges, many lacunas in the system as such. Though our act, the Arbitration Act for that matter, and the upcoming Mediation Act were formed or incorporated with the international best practices, but there were still issues, and which some of them are still there, which of course ADR bar would be taking up. So that led me to come out with this initiative. Now, some of the reason, let me just share some important part of it which made me do this. One is the fact that because I have been attending and speaking at various international conferences across the world in different jurisdictions. One thing which made me very regretting is the fact that if we talk to the foreign parties, they would never want to make India as the seat of dispute resolution. Now, there were obvious reasons for that. We all know about it.
Yeah.
So that is one of the main reason which led me to come out with an answer to resolve this so-called wrong impression in the minds of the foreign parties, the investors or business people or the beneficiaries, whosoever they are.
Yeah.
Second, looking inwards also, I found that the system is, especially arbitration for that matter, was not being operated or led the way I have seen outside. We all know how it is being done outside. And the best example to look for is a country like Singapore or Dubai, who would be compared to a small city of India, have come up with such robust ADR jurisdiction.
Correct.
So why not we?
Yeah.
Why not our country, where we have immense talent pool?
Yeah.
Of course, which is underutilized, I would say.
Yeah.
So that is another reason which made me think of and take up this initiative. The third being related to this talent pool itself is that somehow or the other, I am still unable to find a proper answer as to why we are so fancied with the retired judges to be appointed as arbitrators and mediators. With all due respect to judges, I have nothing personal against them, but do we actually need them as arbitrators, mediators in all and sundry cases?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I am not saying that they should not be there, but let them be there in some required essential disputes where their knowledge, their experience, and their expertise would actually add value to that dispute. Yeah. For justice, but not all and sundry. You need experts for that.
Yeah.
And we have a pool, we have talent across our country, but nobody knows. They are not recognized. They are not giving opportunity. They are not being given opportunity. So that is another reason I thought of taking this step and incorporating this as a bar. I'll come to that question why it's a bar. What I've thought is that it's not ADR for that matter is not a lawyer alone practice.
Yeah.
So if you see the central council which I have brought up, and of course the regional chapters which are already there and which again we are promoting, is that I am bringing all those professionals from different professions together on board who are committed and focused towards ADR.
Correct.
So we have chartered accountants, we have company secretaries, we have insurance experts, we have lawyers, counsels, arbitrators, mediators, media, entertainment law experts. Likewise, I have created this pool to bring them together, construction experts, damage analysts, likewise, so that together we make this whole culture and system a robust practice to showcase to the world that here we are. If we are not better, we are very much at par with you.
Absolutely.
That's the vision.
Yeah.
So with that thought, and mind you, what I'm saying is nothing new as such, because all those who are into arbitration mediation in our country, they know all about this. But nobody was ready to take any step for whatever reason.
Yeah.
So then I thought that why not me? let me take this initiative and let me, spread across. What I am done, therefore, is, and this happened during, of course, and I would thank COVID in a positive way,
Yeah.
not as such, but because COVID gave me that time to think it over, ponder over,
Yeah.
and give a proper thoughts to this whole idea, and then bring it up.
Yeah.
So it took me around almost 2 years uh, to put this into proper, perspective, a shape. And of course, thanks to you, Jenna. I mean, you were the couple of the first people whom I have discussed this, and you were so helpful for coming out with the first write-up. And people like Mehak Rathi, a very young, enthusiastic lawyer from Delhi, and Jamshed Mistry, for that matter, a very dear friend. He's from Mumbai. So, like all these all like-minded people, then we came together, discussed this out, and we were able to launch this on 6th of November this year. So this is, in short, Jenna, is the reason. And of course, I would again, encourage those who would be listening to this to please visit our website, adrbar.com. It has really come out very beautiful. And let me tell you, there is no professional help involved in making that ADR. It is done by students and young enthusiastic lawyers. There's no professional help I've taken.
Yeah.
So students also, of course, is one of the very focused vertical for this, because it is for them.
Yeah.
So as a moral responsibility, I have initiated this so that the young generation does not end up in a mass in which we have faced. Yeah.
Yes.
It is for them.
Yes.
I want to give it back to them so that they come in a robust system.
Yes.
That's the purpose. So that's why ADR bar. Now, coming briefly to the word bar.
Yeah.
Now, you know what happens in bars. A person actually goes there to find the so-called happiness. Correct?
Yeah.
And when you are there in that, the atmosphere there is like that no matter what kind of sorrow, what kind of stress you are into, you just tend to feel relaxed when you enter a bar.
Yeah.
That's exactly is the motto which I want to give to the people who are there on board and who would like to come on board. That for all your stress, all your disputes will get resolved within this bar. So that's the bar. This is a bar to relax. This is the bar where the beneficiary would get the justice, the real justice, with the help of ADR. So that's the bar.
Lovely, Sameer bhai. I'm so excited. I remember our conversation also, and I narrated this to you at the time, but I'm just saying this to give context as to why it's so important. You mentioned about having judges, like High Court, Supreme Court judges, in every in every matter. And I think now things have changed in the last 4-5 years. But I think about 8 years ago, when we had a matter, it was a very small matter, small in the sense it was under 1 crore, so it is small that way commercially, and we did not need a high court judge for that matter. And unfortunately, he was also not a subject matter expert. It was a mining sort of issue when it came to mines. And we were spending so much time explaining, how do people get into the mines? How do they get out? What are the dangers? Why is this a unique problem for this case, which is not a problem in probably any other situation? And I realized it was just such an inefficient system. And unfortunately, with no disrespect to the judge, because it was taking so much time, both the parties, one of us, means the party that I was with, was an international company. They lost interest. Settlement didn't go through. Finally, the other party went into IBC, and it was just an absolute mess. What started off as we have to get 97 lakhs, we ended up getting 7 lakhs 88,000 in IBC. And we spent almost 40 lakhs because it's expensive to hire judges as arbitrators. And had we just known better, later we realized, and we had junior counsels, but had we just known better, we would all have sort of saved a lot of time, effort, energy, and probably gotten a resolution. Now we are all bitter about what happened. So
Jenna, there is one offshoot which I wanted to just share here. You see, so far as the retired judges syndrome is concerned, I think that's one part of it. There is another part, and which comes before this, and that is the appointments. Now, who makes the appointments? It is the bar, the in-house counsels, or the CEOs or CFOs or the external counsels who would make these appointments. Yeah. So the problem also is there. Why? I mean, they are so fancied with retired judges now.
Yeah,
So this is when I said that, this is, I have not got any particular proper answers. So I want to find through this bar. Let us find out the reason, and the bar would give the solution. So the issues start with here, with the appointment. So the retired judges alone are not to be blamed.
Yeah, we are to be blamed because we are the ones who chose.
Yes, it is a bar who's the appointing authority.
Exactly.
So I would blame ourselves.
Absolutely. And we are the ones who tell the board that, oh, we should, we
Exactly.
should get this person involved and all that. So yeah, I mean, we ourselves faced a bit of criticism after that. But if we have a platform like this where we have, like you said, an option to choose a subject matter expert, need not be a lawyer, a counsel, junior counsel, senior counsel, retired, whoever, whatever. If we have that entire ambit, it becomes easier for us as counsels, or like you said, appointers, to figure out who will be the best fit for our case. And one of the beautiful things that you are doing with adrbar.com is that you are on the website putting up the profiles of everyone. All of us have a profile up, so people can come and see our antecedents. They can go onto our LinkedIn page and check what is our, where we have studied, what have we done. And that just gives you a very clear picture, which we, even when we are appointing a judge or whoever is our arbitrator, whether it's a judge or junior counsel, we don't know everything about that person. We just go with, okay, our external advocates are saying or somebody else is saying.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth. But one of the most beautiful things, and I wish, I want people to take this with one of the takeaways from our conversation, is that what ADR BAR is also doing with our, not just providing you like a rooster of practitioners, but also giving you details about those practitioners, enough information so that you can make an informed decision.
And mind you, it is not only the so-called, let's say, the council members or the regional torch bearers.
Yeah.
The website will have a robust directory of the members also.
Yeah, exactly.
With their brief profiles.
Yeah.
So even from that also, the beneficiary whoso wants to choose, they can choose.
Yeah.
Because you see this, if and that is why I will again encourage all those listeners to please go and see the website.
Yeah.
This bar has a very diverse objectives.
Yeah.
It's not just a networking association like the usual lawyers bar or other professional bars. It is not like that. Of course, networking is a part of it, but it goes much beyond that. After networking, what?
Yeah. True.
That's where this bar gives you. After networking, we do matchmaking. We do mentorships.
Yeah.
We give you that platform.
Yeah.
Today, you see, being one of the directors of the Chartered Institute of Arbitrators since long, India branch, after every training which I have done, one of the main questions asked by the participants is, what is there for me now? How this training is going to benefit me? Now, frankly speaking, there is no answer. I don't have any answer, because CIAB or institute like this, they just give you that platform.
Yeah.
But then that's fine. But then you are leaving those trained people on their own to network. Now, everybody may not have that cup of tea of networking. They always would be looking out for opportunity. And as I said, because of this vicious circle of appointments and the bench coming into play here, these trained people who maybe in many cases would be at par in intellect with these retired judges, they don't get the opportunity, especially from tier 2, tier 3 cities in our country.
Yeah.
So this is where ADR bar would come into play. This is where ADR bar would act as a matchmaking between the industry, who are the users, who are the beneficiaries, and the practitioners, who are the service providers. So that matchmaking happened here. We will train them, and we'll also give them the opportunity of getting work.
Yeah.
We'll do that matchmaking kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that is also one of the objectives of ADR bar.
So it will be a bridge between between the users, between people who have disputes and they want to resolve the disputes, or even who want to provide for dispute resolution, let's say. Can we do that? Is there, can
Of
you
course.
provide for dispute
So
resolution through?
let me just also give a very big news here, which I'm sharing here on this platform, is
Yes.
that we have also on board various chambers of commerce and industry, and one of that is the Association of Asian Chamber of Hospitality.
Oh, wow.
Now, this chamber has all the major hotels as their members across Asia and India. This chamber has signed an MOU with ADR BAR.
Oh, lovely.
With the effect that now the members of that chamber, if they have any issues, any dispute, any legal issues, it will be referred to ADR BAR. So this is the first matchmaking which ADR BAR has already done before it was even officially launched.
Oh, wow. Awesome. And I know that there is a lot more in the works and there's a lot more to come. So from a practitioner's point of view, or not just a legal practitioner, whatever, ADR practitioner, and you've clarified, and I'm also clarifying that it's not just lawyers, but also, like you said, CAs, company secretaries, experts, so many across.
Engineers, even doctors.
Doctors,
even
yes.
doctors and not the PhD. Doctors as DR
Medical
doctors,
professional,
practices, yeah, medical practitioners. They are also on board because we need those in medical legal cases.
Of course, yeah. And this is now, what is your expectation from ADR BAR? Like, you spoke about your vision, you spoke about why the ADR BAR is constructed, but what is your expectation with it?
You see, as I said, I want to. So this goes back to the ultimate goals.
Yeah.
What I want to achieve.
Yeah.
I want to make this, and when I'm saying I, let me just change this. It's not I anymore. It's we.
Yeah.
We, because this is what we have to go together. It's a team. It's not me alone.
Yeah.
So what we want to achieve is to make this bar as a recognized entity, both by the government and the judiciary, so far as appointments are concerned, so far as training is concerned, so far as accreditation is concerned, quality training standards are concerned, so far as policy laying process are concerned. This is the level where we want this bar to reach. Tomorrow, government or judiciary wants to appoint, let's say, somebody as an arbitrator or mediator in section 11, or maybe if the matter is referred in court in pre-litigation arbitration or mediation, then this bar would be approached.
Wow. Yeah. So if it is ADR, it is ADR BAR.
Like it is ADR, it is ADR BAR. Like that. So this is the level, this is where we want this bar to be recognized by the government, by the judiciary, as the entity, as the organization to provide all this with that standard which is required.
This may be a question in some people's minds. That's why I'm asking to clarify. Right now, the ADR landscape in our country is a bit disorganized. We are like, there are a lot of satellites. We are all doing things. Every high court has its own mediation or arbitration roster. There are certain institutional arbitrations that are, or mediations that are happening. Mediation is, I think, sort of gaining traction, but it still has ways to go. But actually, before we get into this, maybe can you just take a minute to explain the difference? Why do we keep talking about arbitration mediation separately? And how does that factor into the larger idea of ADR BAR? Because I know we are planning to keep it as two parallels.
Very simple. In fact, recently I was speaking at one international event. I was invited as keynote speaker, which was about mediation. And I was speaking on a very interesting topic called sustainability in mediation. Now there, it's all there on, you can have a look at the YouTube, and the link is there that I can share that. But what
sorry, Samir bhai, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you just take a minute to explain to people who don't know anything about mediation, or
Yeah, yeah.
arbitration?
I'm
What
coming
is
to that.
mediation?
I'm
Acha, okay,
coming to
first.
that only. So there I explained actually what's the difference between mediation and arbitration and why we are talking of this. You see, in arbitration, when we talk about, in general sense, in to just to make understand everyone, is that it's a final adjudication of a dispute. So there will be a winner, there will be a loser, just like a court. But when it is similar to court, but it is not same as court, because unlike the court, in arbitration we don't follow those strict process of the civil procedure code or evidence. I am not saying that they are not followed, but I am saying not in that strict sense.
Yeah,
So
there's
there
no
is so much of
flexibility.
flexibility
Yeah.
of procedure.
Hmm.
Yeah, and there is party autonomy, because parties decide how to run that arbitration.
Correct.
Of course, with the of supervision of the arbitrator or the tribunal. But but in arbitration, as I said, there is a finality to the dispute. The decision is finally taken. Yeah, the dispute is finally decided. In mediation, it's a sort of, I would say, structured conversation, dialogues being, exchanged between the parties under the active supervision of the neutral person who's called a mediator, who facilitates the parties to arrive at an amicable resolution of their dispute. So the difference here is that there may not be a finality to the dispute between the parties. Parties may not succeed in resolving the dispute, and mediation would end there as such. So that's the basic difference. But it's again a very, very flexible but equally structured and organized practice of dispute resolution. Of course, it needs a very trained person as mediator to facilitate the parties who are already at their respective alter egos, to bring them down at a common platform. So I would say it is much more difficult than arbitration in a sense.
Yeah.
Though not binding, though not finality, but it still required that much of intense, participation, active participation by the mediator. Of course, arbitrator also has to be very active, very focused. But at the end of it, with all reasoning, with law at the back, supporting, the arbitrator has to finally decide yes or no. But in mediation, that is not the case. It is left to the parties whether they finally able to decide, come to a mutual ground or not. So that's the difference.
So basically, arbitration is like the traditional adversarial way of resolving, like how we see lawyers, two people fighting. But in mediation, we try. It's totally opposite to arbitration, because it's a collaborative way to sort of harmoniously resolve your dispute, and parties are given, and the mediator uses his skill, his knowledge, his business understanding to sort of bring these two people together.
Business or whatever, maybe in a family dispute, the psychological part, those. So basically the expertise, and so this is where the importance of diverse professionals come into play, especially in mediation.
Yeah.
Now you need, let's say in a family dispute, a psychologist for that matter would be a better person to try to understand the parties' issues for that matter, rather than a judicial person or a lawyer for that matter.
Yeah.
So again, going back to the purpose, this is the purpose, this is the issue, this is the aim. So by ADR BAR.
It is all directed towards giving the beneficiaries, as we are calling them, but essentially the people who have the dispute, the best possible resolution that they can. Right now they are bound by the legal framework. You can do this, you cannot do this. But under ADR BAR, because of this sort of multidimensional professionals who are available, the beneficiaries are able to get, it's not sort of necessarily bound by, okay, under law only this is possible, but we will facilitate a resolution for you, and we have the expertise for that.
So this actually adds to what you asked, but rather than where we want ADR bar, let's say 5 years from now or 10 years from now. Yeah. One of the vision or one of the aim is to make this ADR as a separate and distinct profession, practice
Very
from the
important.
legal services.
Yeah.
Because to an extent, even in arbitration, we always say principles of natural justice.
Hmm.
It is there in the act, in our
Hmm.
act,
Hmm.
and also in the model law,
Hmm.
that the strict procedures of the civil procedure code or the
Hmm.
procedural law or
Yeah.
code and the evidence act or law will not apply.
Yeah.
They will not be, the tribunal or the arbiter will not be bound.
Hmm.
It doesn't say they will not apply, but it says that they will not be bound by the strict
Yeah.
procedural and the evidence act. So what we are talking about, and if we talk of mediation, there is no law at all.
Yeah.
It's basically playing on the emotions,
Yeah.
as I say, and that's why I use the word conversations,
Yeah.
dialogues.
Yeah.
They are very different from submissions and representations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Correct?
Totally different.
So therefore, where is law here? There is no law apart from natural justice. All right. And that's why the reason that let this be recognized as a separate and distinct practice from legal services.
Yes, I'm totally with you. Now, for somebody who is listening to this podcast, now they ask if they want to think, okay, what is it? Who is this exactly catering to? I understood who's part of it. I understood what is the vision, but who does it cater to, and how do I, and who should sort of become a part of this ADR bar?
Well, as I said, it is open for all those who are focused on ADR. So be as practitioners, service providers, professionals, or beneficiaries, the industry. So it is for all. It is not for me or you or a lawyer or a CA or a CS. No, it is for all those who are committed, focused towards ADR. More so, as I said, this is more important for the students and young generation, the young lawyers. This is where I want to give them this platform, especially to the students, where under one roof they will get the mentorship, they will get the career guidance, they will get the internships opportunities, they will get the placements opportunities here, they will get to interact with the who's who of the arbitration and mediation practices, and they will also be given the skill sets, trainings, development of their skill set under one roof. So the ultimate focus is, of course, majorly towards the students and the young generation. Having said that, those who are already practicing are also welcome, because we all have to make this happen together. So it is addressed to all, I would say. It's not lawyer centric, as you correctly said. But one thing I want to make it clear, that of late we have seen everybody talking of anything. When we talk of arbitration, we always talk of international arbitration, international mediation. I am saying the word international has two parts, inter and national. Why we are not focused on national? We have to be first robust inside,
Absolutely.
then move outside.
Yeah.
However, unfortunately, a totally reverse trend is happening. We are looking more outside rather than inside.
Absolutely.
So this is the effort which we have put up, to have the inward look first. Make our own country, our own system, our own culture of ADR so robust that people will look at us, not we looking out. They will look at us.
Correct.
And this is where, of course, I would definitely go, and I am inspired by our learned Prime Minister.
Narendra Modi.
When he talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Yes.
Why we can't become Atmanirbhar in our own ADR sphere. So why we have to go to outside and get those degrees and recognition? Why not we ourselves create that kind of a entity, organization, to get that recognition, to recognize ourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why not? So this is where ADR bar comes into play.
So this is also the training arm that you are referring to. The
Of
training arm will
course,
give
of
training
course.
in. I remember I saw recently on the ADR bar page that the 40 hours of mediation training has
Yes,
started.
yes,
Um,
yes.
and I know Mr. Mendes said that there's going to be continuing professional
Of
development.
course.
So for
Both
a
in mediation and in arbitration together.
so what does that mean? Can you just tell people when if they want to become a member of ADR bar, what does it mean for
See,
them?
it's very simple. The website is very, very simple to go into. There are membership tab. You just go into that. There are 3 tabs. You would find professional membership, student membership, and we have also now opened for the institutional and corporate membership as well. So there is a simple Google form. You fill up that form. As of now, we have kept this membership free.
Yeah.
Yeah, but of course, later we may charge some fees, but profit is not our motto.
Yeah.
Our motto is remain socialistic, holistic, but to be sustainable
Yeah.
commercially to a level that we are able to organize these events, workshops. So little bit of funding, not to make profit, but to organize these kind of benefits for the members at large. We would be doing a very reasonable charges of fees later. As of now, it is free,
Okay.
and it
And
will remain free for students for that matter.
for life. For life means for the life of ADR bar, it will remain free for students.
Yes, till the time, of course, they are students.
Of course, yeah. Sir, what would you say are the membership benefits that somebody gets? Just to recap everything that you said in a few sentences.
Immense, immense, immense. As I said, I've already said about students, even for the members. You see, as I said again, I just repeat that. Forget about the tier one cities like Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore. Apart from that, we don't hear arbitration mediation, or even if we hear about that, those people are nobody knows about them. So I want to make these people who are equally talented to come into the mainstream, to get that recognition and to get that opportunity to be at par with the tier one people. Yeah. So even for those members who are practitioners, yeah, but may not be getting that much opportunity, this bar will act as a platform, as a base, as a networking station for you to give those opportunities. And that is the reason why I am also taking along the industry together, because they also need ADR.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They are also frustrated with the current judicial and legal system which is in
Yeah.
our country. Improvement are happening, of course, but it will take,
Yeah.
we
It'll take
don't
time.
know
Yeah.
when it will happen. But
Yeah.
meanwhile, ADR gives that that sort of opportunity,
Opportunity. Yeah.
that answer for justice.
Absolutely.
And that is why whenever I have the opportunity, especially when I'm doing the mediation trainings or workshops or presentation, I always say at the concluding remark is that in court you would get law, but it is only in ADR and especially mediation you will get justice.
Yeah. We
So
spoke
that's the
about this. I remember you telling me this. Sir, I think I have asked you everything that I wanted to ask you when it comes to ADR bar. You have also been very clear about your role. The only one thing that I wanted to probably ask you is what is your role in ADR bar? But I think you're everywhere.
My role is just to be there to ensure that this creation reaches the aim and objectives and that stage
Yeah.
which I have dreamed. I want everyone who's coming together to have the same dream as I have.
Yes, that's true.
That's it.
Yeah, I
That's
think
it.
we should all band together and walk the path because
But let me tell you, that is this is sort of a challenge as of now, which I'm facing. Though, because right now you see I'm going one to one on my
yeah.
personal capacities, reaching out to people, getting them on board, making them understand. But it's not going to work that way. There's a limitation to me as alone.
Yes, of
I
course.
want all of us to come together. Then that's why I said that let us dream together
Yeah.
and let's go to walk together.
Yeah, of course. Because this is ultimately it is being done for, it's like the tagline of democracy, right? By the people, for the people. So it's like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's not
Yeah.
for me alone. And
Yeah.
I am not saying I have done this. I am saying we have done this.
Absolutely. And we will
And
continue to do this together.
So we need all the support together. All of us should come together
Yeah.
and make this happen.
Okay. On that note, I think we should say, I don't know, Jai Hind, I feel like saying,
No,
because I'm really.
no. I would say let's take the ADR pledge.
Oh, yeah. It is really cool. Okay, wait. Should I open it?
So we can
I'll
take
repeat.
no. This is the American way of. No, we don't do that. We do yes. This is the Indian way. So we can do it together.
Yes. You say, I will repeat, and then whoever listens will follow what Samir Bhai says.
Yeah. So we, the ADR bar,
We, the ADR bar,
do hereby proactively resolve.
do hereby proactively resolve.
Together we shall.
Together we shall
Endeavor to problem solve.
endeavor to problem solve.
The purpose of life
The purpose of life
is to live in holistic harmony,
is to live in holistic harmony,
for which understanding is essential, not money.
is essential, not money.
We pledge to help
We pledge to help
every disputant to end strife,
every disputant to end strife,
avoid needless expenditure,
avoid needless expenditure,
and get on with life.
and get on with life. Yay!
We shall hold on.
Huh?
We shall contribute
We shall contribute
to the welfare of our nation
to the welfare of our nation
by practicing arbitration and mediation.
Arbitration and mediation.
With the ADR process,
With the ADR process,
a dispute would end
a dispute would end
as the adversary should have become a friend.
Would have become a friend. Wow. Yay. I loved when I read the pledge. I really loved it. So yes, I've taken the pledge also now. Now mera kaam
Thank
ho
you
gaya.
so much. Thank
Yes.
you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, Samir Bhai. We, for anyone who wants to know more about ADR BAR, we've told several times that the website is adrbar.com. But feel free to write to. I'll leave all our links below, so we are all always in touch with each other. So whoever you write to, you can be sure that the message will reach ADR BAR. Any questions you have, please write to us. We are looking forward to sort of making this an ADR movement. So support us, and please keep, subscribe to this podcast. Keep listening. See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.